Hey Capricorns, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your second half of a general reading here. Let's talk about your meditation. I saw, it was very John Steinbeck, the great American author. John Steinbeck asked, I saw a farmer staking bales of hay out in a wheat field or some sort of field, golden like sheens of wheat and gold and bales of hay and like sticking that. I'm being so articulate right now. Like staking these bales of hay. And then I heard the song hi ho, it's off to work we go. Snow White and the Seven Dwarves style. And then I saw images from Grapes of Wrath. And then I saw like a feeling of like Ernest Hemingway, which was really interesting. It felt like you're onto something. It feels like there's an energy of this time. Listen, if Capricorn rules everything of the 3D, right? You guys are the devil keys. That's everything in the 3D, everything that's tangible, right? It's kind of, if you can look at it this way too, even though we're sister, adjacent signs of the zodiac, Aquarians and Capricorns are opposites in that way. So if Aquarians are off in the clouds and futurists and thinking about what's next, like I have these big ideas, the Capricorns are over here embodying what it means in taking home the bacon, right? And creating tangibly, right? And it's not a qualitative difference. It's what's coming up for me right now. But it feels very grounded and it feels very productive. And it feels like, why am I hearing the song? Something tells me I'm into something good. It feels like you are hard at work, honeys. It does. It feels like you're hard at work. And I'm really drawn to the color gold of the hay and the golden fields. There's really something to that. There's something to that. Beautiful. Let's see what your animal energy is. Do it. Something speeding up. Do you know how some authors, it's like they write one great American novel and don't do anything else, but it's fine because like that's their legacy, right? I'm not saying that that's you, but there is an element of it's in the energy right now. All you have to do is reach out and take it through consistent and dedicated effort. I feel like you're doing something every day. You're doing something every day as you could look at it as a ritual, but it feels more like a disciplined practice. Why do I want to say the word practice? I think that's how people describe yoga, like a yoga practice or like a writing practice or it's something that you do, that you're doing every day consistently and routinely. And there's something about that, using this time to your advantage, where something that was due to come to you later on down the line is being sped up. Interesting. Whoa, it feels like a shifting of a timeline through concerted and dedicated effort. Interesting. Okay, what is the animal energy for second half of April? I'm getting the feeling. I'm getting the feeling of someone holding down the fort so that you can work away. It's interesting. It could be literal or it could be just energy wise. I'm getting the specific image, and you can take this literally or figuratively. And I feel very wordy. Okay, I'm feeling a writer, an author, a speaker, an orator, a creator, something to do with like words and tangibility. Why do I want to talk about writers? Writers, we can all have great ideas, right? At one point or another. But isn't what makes an author, a good author, or a great author even, is about taking those ideas and putting them into words on the page, putting to words things that we can only feel but can't verbally express ourselves. Isn't the best thing like reading something and going, oh my God, that's exactly how I feel. I just couldn't put words to it. You're putting words to what's going on right now, or you're putting words to your particular message of experiences, or even through comedy, because this is about comedy, hyena. So there's something about that. I have chills. I'm seeing It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, that show. It's a comedy show, a comedic show, I believe. I'm not ultra familiar with it, but I do know it's comedy. Okay. So hyena, fascinating. This is about being in on the joke as well. It's also about this really feels I can't even tell you like how spot on this feels for you, because there is this aspect of being able to look at things through the lens of, okay, I want to talk about comedians now. Don't they say that a lot of the great comedians battle things like depression or have had very difficult lives, and humor was an early vehicle for them through which to, get through it? In other words, right? How laughter is the best cure type of deal. There's something to that here. Now, this can take a lot of different shapes and forms. You could be finding a lot of therapy through laughter, watching funny things, connecting with funny people, friends of yours that are funny, really keying it up, through, FaceTime or Zoom or the phone or whatever have you. I do feel like there's also an element of remember that time, remember when, reminiscing with friends of the past that you've known for a little bit, or just talking about it. I feel like I'm seeing, what is that show? Crashing? It's comedy. So I'm seeing like a group of people sitting around a table, like an old club in New York, and like a bunch of old like comics, and going, remember that time he got up there and did this and then this, ha 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 ha. Like it's that feeling of like, and I wanted to talk about Hemingway and nostalgia and great authors. There's an element of throwback, and you could be working on something that involves memories or nostalgia, or really in that energy. Throwing it back. There's something about reminiscing about the past or looking to your past experiences for inspiration and for direction. This is also finding humor in the starkness of things, right? Because look at this. This is black and white, right? And then we have the gray area in here. And there's something about the focus on, and this is, remember when I said Aquarians and Capricorns, how one is kind of in the clouds and you guys are very rooted into the earth. Why do I want to say playing the opposite? That's an acting term. Playing the opposite. You are playing the opposite, and it's working for you, and it's clever. Playing the opposite is another way of saying you're not doing the expected thing. You're not making the expected move. You're playing the opposite, which is always more interesting. Oh my God, Capricorns, I cannot. First of all, High Priestess on the bottom represents Aquarians as well as the Star Key. Six of Cups, this is nostalgia. Elephants represent memories and nostalgia. This is exactly what we were just talking about. Hi ho, indeed. Six of Cups. I mean, this is like, remember that time when you, I don't know, like took a dive off of that skateboard, and then we were like, oh my God, how are we? Like, it's stuff like that. And also remembering your childhood, remembering nostalgic times, it just going back in your mindscape. And okay. There's a saying that when artists or comedians or whatever, and if you're not an artist or comedian, just go with me here. It's just the imagery that I'm being shown right now, especially because the hyena is about laughter, okay, and playing the opposite and finding things funny that other people not. Like having an oddball sense of humor, like laughing at a funeral is a really like standard basic example of that. And by the way, playing the opposite is the opposite of being on the nose. It feels really important to say. This is also, feeling like a child again, connecting with people from your past, from your childhood, or connecting with people who allow you to feel like a child again, right? This is innocence. And again, rooted in the past, pre-existing relationships, friendships, and love. Wow. I'm obsessed that came out. Okay. Capricorn, why are you giving me life? The Empress, stop. She is everything. She is giving birth to new conditions. She is the mother archetype. She is the creator, right? But here's why I'm obsessed with this. Here's why I'm obsessed that you got the Empress as opposed to the Magician, right? Because the Magician is I feel it here, but the Magician is more like, I'm working with energies. I'm working with energies. I'm working with possibilities. I'm working with timelines. I'm working with magic, right? Things that can't necessarily be seen in the 3D. The Empress, however, gives birth in the 3D. She is the number 3 also, and she gives birth to new conditions in a way that's tangible. Do you see why I'm obsessed that you got this? Because she's earth energy too, as well. She embodies that. She's like, no, I love how she has one shoe on and one shoe off here. I'm so drawn to that. There's something about that. I kind of see someone working on something or even doing your job where you're kind of, how do I say this? Okay, go with me here. There's a song by John Mayer called, what is it called? Walt Submarine Ride. I think someone please post this in the comments below if you know what I'm talking about. The tongue on the side of his face meant he was working away on displacement and what it would take to survive. There's something, I'm seeing someone working really hard, and I see like the tongue on the side of the face or like a pencil behind the ear or like in the same sweatshirt for 3 days. Like there's something to that, but it's kind of great. Like you look a little haphazard, but it's fabulous because you're working really hard. Also, writers have a reputation for looking a little askew when they're working, right? Looking a little skew with the hair going every which way, and I kind of love it for you. This is really beautiful. Remember when I said it felt like someone was holding down the fort for you? so that you could like be in your protective den and just work. That's what I feel like Alice is representing here. And I feel like you are the Empress, and I really, really love it. See how she's holding this scepter, and see how the kind of worried look on her face? It's interesting. I feel like you're doing exactly what is best for you right now in terms of staying physically productive, right? Feels really good. I just heard take a break every once in a while, though, if you're not already. Take a break. Watch something funny if you're not already. There's something to that. Oh, God. Okay. So we got the Tower here, Scorpio energy here. So this is really beautiful. I actually did a post about this today on Instagram. About how the energy of today, when I'm filming this, is the Tower in reverse. So I'm kind of obsessed that this came up for you guys. So the Tower, you know what I like to call this key? It's the great rearranger. It's the universe stepping in and rearranging everything so that it will be better than before. It was going a little off track, and then it comes in and rearranges things quickly and permanently and restructures it, right? Master Builder energy here, right? Yeah. Do you see all these broken dishes and broken pieces and everything's kind of on the floor and askew? I have this image of the Capricorn collective picking up those pieces, reassembling them, putting them together with some magic super glue and creating some sort of freaking masterpiece. There is some really good work or good material that's coming out of this time. The tide is turning. Oh, I just heard, ooh, I have shivers. Capricorn. Are you feeling particularly intuitive? It's almost like you're automatic writing or channel. It's almost like the information or ideas are having moments of intense flow. I wonder if for some of you it's happening really early in the morning or in the middle of night, like and you're up and you see the sun come out. Something about that. Odd hours. Forgetting to eat or forgetting to take, like you just get in the flow. Time is a funny bunny. Bunny. Time does feel like a funny bunny for you guys. I think for a lot of people, but y'all in particular. You know how the White Rabbit says, I'm late for a very important date? The tide is turning. I think you understand now. There's something that you intuitively feel. It feels like you're extra intuitive right now, actually. But there's something that you intuitively feel where you're like, okay, I'm almost finished. I'm almost like I'm in the home run of this. And I want to just use the rest of this time as it is as productively as possible. I don't know why that excites me so much, but it does. Clarifier for Six of Cups. Okay. The cups on the bottom. The Emperor. First of all, he's the counterpart to the Empress, right? I'm obsessed. So this is Aries energy here, which, by the way, the Emperor is all about things being a certain way, order in the court. This is the father archetype as well. This is the boss archetype, right? Number 4. And the fact that it is clarifying the Six of Cups, I'm so obsessed with. I feel like this is saying a couple of things. Remember, he's everything of the 3D as well. Right? He and the Empress are the counter energies to the Magician and the High Priestess, right? You guys are, the line of intuition is open, but you are firmly rooted in the 3D. And I really, really like it for you. It's like, get it. Because a lot of people during this time are finding it most therapeutic to distract themselves from what's going on in the 3D. And their happy place is in, fairyland. And I say that like with no, like, I love that. I love fairyland. But it's like, just watching fantasy films and not watching, not being overly productive, just kind of nurturing and hibernating, kind of keeping their head down. And that's beautiful. That's their path. That's not what I'm feeling for you, right? Why do I feel like you're the example? I do feel like it's a little extreme at times. Like, again, I do want to say, remember to take rests and take breaks. But I think that you are happiest being productive right now. And that's beautiful. I also feel like this is saying, again, like I said, like you are right on the money. You're right on the target. You're doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. And as a result, you're going to come out of this time feeling super accomplished. How interesting. How beautiful. What a gift. No? Early on, when all of this was initially popping off, I had a thought where I thought, think of all the art that's going to come out of this time. Think of all the art. Think of all the artists at home creating and making art, right? And then I was listening to, I can't remember, a podcast or some show. I think it was John Mayer's Instagram, some current mood or something that he does. And later that day I was watching that and he goes, think of all the art that's going to come out of this time. And it was like, just like, get out of here. And I'm definitely being drawn to that right now. But even if you're not an artist or creating, it's something that you're staying in such a actively productive energy that you're going to come out of this time just really flying and soaring. And it's like the moment, it's like you are building and sustaining a momentum that will serve you moving forward continuously. And wow, oh my Lord. Okay, stop it right now. You got the Three of Cups to clarify the number 3 with the Empress here. Have I not said this is a lot about communication, collectiveness, collectiveness? No. Because Three of Cups, traditionally speaking, is reunions, having a good time. Number 3 is mind, body, spirit. It's the Trinity number. The fact that this is clarifying the Empress here, I'm really drawn to the fact that we have 2 people depicted here. I mean, we have these little cats too, but we have these 2 people depicted here, and then we bumped up to the 3. I feel like some of you are working with other people as well. Again, getting on the, Zoom, the Skype, the FaceTime, emailing back and forth on the phone, whatever that is. And you're really generating an energy amongst you, which is really, really cool. Like you can be a part of like a writing group or a book club or even your friends getting together, like I said, and, they're taking me to something very specific. If anyone saw the Saturday Night Live, the most recent SNL episode they did, where it was like a remote episode, there was this one sketch of, I can't remember who it was, but it was like a couple of the guys, and they're what are you working on? What are you working on? What are you working on? I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything to work on. Oh, wait a minute. What if the sketch is just us trying to think of something to work on and coming up with nothing? And there's something to that. It's like making the most of what you have and where you are with this kind of collective teamwork energy. But I do feel teamwork at the heart of this. I do feel like for some of you, the teamwork, though, is actually someone holding down the fort for you in whatever way that looks like. This could be literal, where you live with a partner or a family or roommate who kind of takes care of a lot of the mundane things, like making sure there's dinner, making sure that, everyone has what they need, that the cats are fed, whatever that is, so that you can be in this other energy. Or, this is actually coming together with people virtually or whatever have you, to create and build upon an energy where it's like, wow, there is such wealth and the togetherness. I heard hi ho, it's off to work we go, with Snow White and the 7 dwarves. And then you got the 7 of Pentacles. Is he not carrying like what one of those dwarfs would carry? What is that called? I don't know. But this is what plows up the earth, right? It's like that. There's a depth. Didn't I see like a farm and like a farmer like going for bales of hay? And then we like have this imagery here. I'm slightly obsessed. This is pretty much exactly what I was saying. Traditionally, the 7 of Pentacles, again, back to your earth energy, your earth sign selves here, which I really like that you came up in your own reading depicted as the 7 of Pentacles. But traditionally, this is patience and understanding that the seeds that you've sown will bear fruit. And this is right before they bloom. Because if you think about what comes next, it's the 8 of Pentacles, which is actually getting to work and putting the work in, right? And it's all over your reading here. And I have to say, even though I feel you're super productive with whatever you're doing right now and you're right on the target and track and you're in on the joke and you're able to see the humor, right? You're making the most out of the situation. I feel like the work and the speed and the acceleration that comes post the time that we're in as the energy shifts and changes, right? Remember, I'm telling you, Tower in reverse is what I've been feeling all day. I just posted about it. There's something here about, okay. When you were a kid, I want to talk about like childhood and kids and throwback. When you were a kid and the school year was about to start and you went and stocked up on school supplies and you opened each one of you got your binder together, you put the dividers and you filled out each of the dividers and said, this is science, this is English, this is math, this is history. That's what I feel like you're doing. You're writing your name on the inside of your books. You're creating the paper covers for your textbooks. Does anyone remember that? So that when you're filling up your pencil pouch, you're getting your outfits together ready for the first week of school so that you can, it's less to do in the morning. There's something about that where there's an aspect of that to what you're doing right now so that when this time passes and school starts again, that's just what they're showing me. It's like you are extra over prepared. You are extra ready. And look at it this way. It's like you're going to come out of this time. There's a lot of unknown and whatever else. But I think you're starting to sniff in the air that things are shifting. Okay? There's going to be more answers coming in, a little more illumination around things. I think there's going to be some happy surprises in there, okay? But as this time shifts, you're going to be like, Here is a page document of what I've been working on. Here are the ideas that I was working on during this time. And I see there's someone sitting across from you or someone on the other side of this that goes, oh my God, all I accomplished was staying sane and, I was able to work out a few times a week. And that was like a huge accomplishment for me. And I was able to like I said, like remain sane. And I got some good reading done. I got to the reading list. And you're like, that's fabulous. Let's get to work. I've been there this whole time. Does that make sense? Okay. Oh, Lord Capricorn. Why do I feel like it's been a journey? Why do I want one of each? Okay. Let's get an Earth Oracle, and then I really want a vintage as well. I'm also seeing, okay, I can't. Why am I also seeing scenes from Practical Magic? Okay, this is kind of dark, but go with me here. It doesn't matter if you haven't seen it. There's a scene where the sisters are trying to bring back this, kind of not great guy back to life, and they're doing some sort of like ritual spell, and it's a dark moment before the resurrection. There's something about that, I'm telling you. Teamwork, nostalgia, making it work, high productivity, finding the humor, kind of being in on the joke somehow. Let's get you a vintage. Good Lord Capricorn. Good Lord. Oh, I cannot. Wow, how beautiful is this, Grace? Okay, so first of all, you got fire, passion. I'll hold for reaction. I really like this because this is exactly what we've been talking about. The fires of creation, the fires of transformation, the fires of change, passion. Didn't I say that you're working on something that moves you, that makes the time fly? Fire, passion. I can't. What more is there to say, really? I'm getting Phoenix energy off of this too. Oh, which aligns with the Tower, actually. Scorpio, Scorpio energy with the Tower here. Scorpios are also related to the Phoenix as well. I feel like there's something in that. And then look what we got. Ancestors. Have we not been talking about, we've not been talking about more flowers too. We've not been talking about like nostalgia, like throwback, all of that good stuff. And then you have ancestors here. Remember when I said that some of you guys are looking to your childhood or past for inspiration, or you're writing about it, or you're talking about it a lot, or remembering it, or stuff like that. And then you have freaking ancestors here with this child, and then like the people of the past. There's also a special note here too. And I've been getting this for a lot of people, okay? Or a lot of the signs here. Someone's writing about, or thinking or journaling or talking about their ancestors in terms of like coming over from another country, or something that because remember the Hemingway thing? It kind of feels like something that your ancestors or that a past relative was good at or accomplished or was known for. Like this could be anything, but this could be like I'm making grandmother's cookie recipe. It could be something as simple as that. But there's a lot of comfort and inspiration being found in nostalgia or things of the past, okay? So back to this ancestors vibe. Remember when I said that I saw some of you are kind of channeling in a way and you may not even be realizing that you're doing it? It's like, where is all this inspiration, like all of this good stuff? I've been seeing for a lot of the signs that if you, inevitably you will, I mean, I'm not saying for sure, but yeah, we're human, right? Inevitably there will be moments, and there have been moments, I should say, where there are feelings of, feeling kind of down or feeling a bit lost or feeling a bit like why, or feeling a bit, discombobulated, right? The message that I've been getting and what I have found to be helpful as well when I got, this counselor guidance is to think about ancestors and everything that they survived and went through so that I could be born and exist. I think about ancestors on both sides. What did they go through? What did they survive, right? So that I could be here now. Think of it from that perspective. And then if it applies to you, think about future generations, right? Whether they're yours through direct descendants or generations within your family, right? Nieces, nephews, and their children, whatever that is for you. There's a lot of power to be found in that, okay? I'm also getting distinct feeling for a group of y'all, especially because of the Empress and the Three of Cups and the Six of Cups and the Emperor. It's kind of all over here. I do feel like for some of you guys are going to come out of this time or start thinking about family. Starting a family, reconnecting with family. Ooh, that feels important. Reconnecting with family that maybe you haven't connected with in a while, that you had a falling out with, or have, just kind of fell out of touch with for whatever reason, whether intentionally or not, or just through happenstance. There's something about that coming out of here, where the way that you look at the family unit, the family structure, your definition of feeling around family is going to be transformed, and you're just going to be looking at things a bit differently. Even if you happen to have children, there's something about that. You maybe thinking even more about providing for them way down the road in a way that you haven't before, or thinking about leaving this piece of the earth better than how you found it for future generations, whether they're related to you or not. Okay? Feels really good. And again, there's someone around you that's a quilt for you. It could be a kid. It could be a kid, a niece, nephew, child of your own. It could be a kid around you, or that you're talking to, or you FaceTime with, or whatever, that really just makes you, like, pops you right out of your own head and makes you feel really good and like hope and everything else. Capricorns, this was a journey, darlings. It always is with you guys. It's always a good time. It's always a good time. I also, one last message. I'm getting a distinct feeling. It's moving. Okay. I want to point something out. Do you see how this is two halves of the moon? I'm hearing dark side of the moon. Do you see how it's eclipsing in this way, where it's becoming brighter, so the dark side is lesser than the light side? That's what I'm picking up on this shift. It's like if we're going through this apex and then it's about to inevitably like transition and like to this other energy here. You know what I'm saying? There's something to that, and I don't want to be too blatant about it, but I think you are picking up what I'm throwing down there, Capricorn. So that's what it is. And definitely check out my Instagram post, because it feels like it's very pertinent here. _lady_crow_ on Instagram. Okay. Capricorns, thank you guys so much for being here. I so hope that this helped and resonated. If so, please let me know in the comments below. I just love reading your comments. That being said, thank you for being you, and be well. Until next time.